Yo, welcome to another installment of Noob Chess Analysis. Today we're going to be reviewing a game that's all about simplification. I was ahead by quite a bit, but my opponent still had a lot of material on the board and things were getting a little dangerous for me. So I had to simplify and convert the win. Those are hard things to do at my level. So this is a good example of it. Let's dig right in. I am white and I play the London. By the way, this is a 10-minute rapid game. So for beginners, not a ton of time to think. Anyways, I play London and really basic moves for the London opening, except that I do play C4, which is the accelerated London. So basically, I'm going, C4 instead of C3, and I'm putting pressure on the center. And at my level, this adds a lot of pressure, and usually people haven't seen this a ton, so they got to think about it. Time is really important. So anytime you can throw a little curveball and the opponent has to think a bit, it's really positive. And if they take here, you can just take right back with the bishop. Anyways, he moves his bishop here, and this is called the Mexican standoff. And I actually have a whole video about this, and it's about the danger for your opponent when he opens your H file, which would happen if you moved back and then he captured, and you can recapture with your pawn, and it opens this beautiful H file for your rook. And with the London, you have these pieces that have great angles, and you can often checkmate because at my level, people totally forget that they opened your H file, and you can get a nice checkmate in like 12, 13, 14 moves. Anyways, that's exactly what happens. He takes, and I open the H file. Now, if you watch any videos from high level people, like GMs, basically they will tell you that people never take. But I want to tell you this, at the 1,000 level, people take 95% of the time, almost always. If they set up that Mexican standoff, they're always taking, from my experience, which is great because I get to open the H file and I know how to attack with it. So I continue to develop. He makes this really awkward move with his queen, which is basically useless because I can push my pawn up. My C pawn can go to C5, and I gain space, attack the queen, and he basically has to lose tempo by moving. So that's what he does. So I like that. I like that sequence quite a bit. And then I put the pawn, or put the pin on him with my bishop, which I love to do. Anytime you see the queen and the king lined up like this and you have a piece that can put a pin there, you definitely want to do that. So this adds a lot of pressure. Well, this adds some pressure. It's a relative pin. So if he were to move his knight for any reason, I can gobble up that queen, which I would love to do. So please do that. That'd be great. Thank you. Now, that little amount of pressure causes him to blunder tremendously. This is a tremendous blunder. This actually shatters his entire position and just goes to show that a small amount of pressure at this level can sometimes be catastrophic for your opponent. So the B pawn actually defended C6. He had two defenders on C6, and as soon as he moved that, he lost a defender, which is a big deal because I have currently one attacker, but I have the potential to add another one with my queen. And overall, this is just a disaster. So I do add my queen there, and he has no possible way to add another defender to the C6 square. So he is literally screwed here. I mean, his position is in shambles. Now, you know, sometimes you got to make the best of a bad position, and the best thing you can do here is to castle, because what could happen is I can take, like, either way you're going to lose your rook here. You just lost your rook, but at least with this you can move the queen out of the way, and I can take, and you can have an exchange. You can take back with the rook. Now he doesn't feel like doing this. And you can tell he just hasn't seen this position a ton, but he moves his queen a little out of order here, sir, because I can take with check, and then he's got to defend that, and I can take the rook, and he has nothing there to recapture. So I mean, he castles now a little too late, my friend, because I can just move back scot-free and attack the knight here for further simplification, unless he moves it, which he does. And then I gobble up some pawns, and he actually miscalculates this move, where I actually have 2 attackers on this square, and he has a single, so I can take that. He moves his knight up. He's actually thinking of attacking, I think. But he has another undefended pawn, and I also have an undefended pawn, so he takes that. And now I'm looking at all these loose pieces. I mean, we both have loose pieces everywhere. Tons of undefended pieces just sitting around the center here. So kind of crazy, but I'm up a lot, so I'm feeling okay. But I didn't see this move, which is a very good move, especially at my level, because it sets up the potential for mate in 2. Which if I don't respond appropriately here, I am literally dead, even though I'm up 10. And, well, basically he's got the knight attacking f2 and the queen as well. So if I don't move, let's say I just do something stupid and take this bishop, because it's a free bishop, right? Totally free. No, sir. We got a check that you can't do anything about. I have to move here, and this delivers checkmate. So you got to do something about that. And the best thing to do here is castle. So I do. Luckily I saw it. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then he moves. He's attacking. He's on the attack. I deliver check, which he has to respond to. And I basically want to kick this knight out. But really, I realize now I should have kicked the queen out. He moves his knight back, and I eat up his hanging bishop, without realizing that he can now deliver his check, which makes me very uncomfortable. So this is why simplification is important, because you got this queen running around that's doing unknown things, and I feel like I'm one move away from throwing this game. And that has happened many, many times from when I play chess and just screw up a completely winning position. So simplification, when you're ahead, especially this much, is very, very important. So I can move my queen out of the way. And yeah, he wants to attack here, but really this is just kind of playing into what I want, which is simplification, because he can take, I can take, and then, I can take, he can take. So we're just simplifying the position, which is exactly what happens. So I'm happy. That relieves a little pressure because it takes some things off the board. So I'm feeling a little better about this. He does deliver another check. And yeah, I'm thinking I need to get rid of this queen immediately. He's putting pressure on me, but also has some undefended pieces still sitting around. At this point, I realize I'm losing this knight, and I make kind of a bad move. I think I was kind of feeling a little time pressure here. With about 4.5 minutes left, and I lose the knight, but I'm attacking still. And yeah, I like this move for him, but I don't like that he's moving down the board and his queen is still here. So I'm really looking for any chance to simplify. And so I also want to bring my other pieces in. My rook is undeveloped and really nothing's threatening these. So let's bring my rook in. And then he just hands me the ability to simplify. And for the small price of a pawn, I can basically, in this position, get rid of the queen and the rook. So it's basically just delivering check that he has to take. And then I can take with the pawn. And then after he takes back, I can take the rook. And just simplify the position. Right now, this is a completely winning endgame. He's got 3 disconnected pawns, and I have a ton of material. I'm up 9, so this is not... You would have to screw this up royally, which just isn't going to happen at this level. There's just no way to lose here. But you do need a plan, and my plan is to move my pawns up the board, get a queen, and checkmate him. And that's basically what I do at this point. I'm just slowly moving up the board. I convert over to a queen. He's got to move because it's check. So yeah, that queen was defended by my rook. And I get another check in, which actually ends up being very nice because it's a discovered check, which he's got to move to a checkmate with the bishop. So very, very nice checkmate. I'm happy about it. simplify the position when you're ahead, and then convert to a win. That's the overall goal, guys. Anyways, that's it. Check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/YoBeebs. Come say what's up. Have a good one. Merry Christmas.